all you beautiful people out there. Mr. Nut and I are going to take a ride, and we are on the Beast and my FatBob. So we've got the Scorched Orange beauty bikes, and we're just going to take a ride like we do, bring you along with us, and have some conversations, and have, talk about a few things we have upcoming, and, come along. It is a toasty day in Tulsa. The sun is shining. It is about 92 degrees and sunny. We have some exciting things going on, so we thought we would get out on the bikes because that's where we like to discuss exciting things, especially with all of you.
Does that make us odd for a married couple that we discuss exciting things on our bikes?
Well, it's not the only place we discuss exciting things, but, our bikes are definitely one of those things that gives us a lot of joy. Yep. A lot of joy. So we like to get out together and enjoy it all.
For me, I just kind of think better on the bike.
Yeah, it kind of clears your mind because you're not focused on all the things that are at home that you need to be working on or doing, or it's so easy to get sidetracked with daily life. So when you get out on the bikes, it's just a good mind clearer. So that's what we decided to do this Friday afternoon. Exciting news, we are going to be live tomorrow on Facebook with the Badgers, the biker lifestyle, and that's really exciting.
So what the Badgers are doing is really kind of cool. They're creating a community for biker-owned businesses primarily, and then businesses that support and cater to the biker community. We heard about this I think it's probably 90 days ago, or maybe a little bit more. And we went ahead and put ourselves on the map as content creators, motovloggers, and also our consulting and creative business. So I've been really happy to be a part of the community. They run a Facebook page, and they have a little over 100,000 followers. So it's a pretty good sized community, but it's kind of exciting to be part of a growing community of businesses that are becoming aware of the special needs and special interests and kind of special personalities that bikers bring to the table. We are a group that has some serious spending power.
Right.
And we happen to love to spend that on our toys. I'll back off so you can go around if you need to.
Okay.
So they put together this great database and have been able to put it into a map where you can search businesses in your area that specialize in catering to bikers or are biker-owned. I think it's a fantastic idea, and I know that the community is growing stronger and stronger all the time. So we're real happy to be a part of it.
Absolutely.
We're here in Tulsa, Oklahoma is our home base, but we kind of work internationally. So the bikes we're riding today are what we call our Scorched Orange Twins. Mrs. Nutt has a 2019 FatBob 114. Basically a stage 1. It's running a heavy breather extreme air cleaner, D&D Bobcat exhaust. I'm riding our 2019 Streetglide Special. It's been modified a bit more. It's running a full Harley Stage 4 117 kit with a 550 S&S cam. We call this one the Beast. It runs really nice, running about 135 horsepower, about 130 foot-pounds of torque. These are kind of our fun bikes.
Yeah.
And they're matchy, so
they're matchy. They're our run around town bikes. We've done a ton of like make me flat-footed on this bike, so I love this bike. My other videos, we've talked about the fact that my confidence level on this bike is just huge. So I love whipping around town on this bike. It's so much fun. The FatBob in general is such a fun bike to ride, but now that I am flat-footed on it and we fixed the heavy breather part, we fixed the air cleaner part so that my leg is really comfortable. I love this bike. So anytime he's like, what bike do you want to ride today? I'm like, FatBob.
Yeah.
Bob. Even though I love my CVO Streetglide, but Bob is just too easy. So I love Bob.
Well, I love the mods that we've made on that bike to kind of make it fit you.
Yes.
I mean, it's very, very personalized to you.
Absolutely.
We have a pretty good stable of bikes for a couple. Sometimes we feel that we don't have enough. Other times I think we feel that we have too many.
Right. Mostly when we're trying to park them in the garage.
Yeah, especially when we're parking them basically in a two-car garage or two one-car garages. They're squeezed in there pretty good.
So we thought we would take a ride out towards a little town called Covita today. It's just a little town kind of just south and east of Tulsa.
Yeah, south and east.
It goes through these little phases of growing, and then it kind of backs off, and you think, oh, Tulsa's going to go and spread out to there, but then it stops. It's really interesting, actually. It's kind of a freeway drive, so it's not anything like crazy exciting, but it's just one more of those loops that we do when we have an hour to burn and we want to get out on the bikes and still be within reasonable distance to home.
Well, we try and get out and ride almost every day.
Right.
And we probably need to bring our recording equipment with us a little bit more so we can make more content.
Right. Yeah, we should film a little more, especially when we go out solo and things. We're branching out, so you'll see probably some new stuff where it's just Mr. Nut or just me. And just give you just some more insight into our lifestyle, basically.
Well, and I mean, from a business standpoint, we're creating content today to promote the Harley-Davidson lifestyle, the motorcycle community lifestyle. I know that a lot of people out there are just, they love motorcycles, and it really doesn't matter what brand. We're kind of Harley people, and, there's a lot of reasons why, but for the most part, this is the brand we love, and this is the brand we're going to ride. Although we love the fact that other people are either loyal to a brand or just love motorcycling in general. But, we worked in the business consulting, kind of HR, branding, culture building. We've worked in that industry for a long time, creative and marketing. And in the last few years, we've narrowed the verticals that we really want to be involved in. And they kind of center around, I think, part of our culture that's being lost. When I was a kid, your car was everything. When I was young, we worked on our cars all the time. We modified them all the time, either for performance or for aesthetics or whatever. But, we were constantly wrenching on our cars. And if you had motorcycles, you were constantly wrenching on those and modifying those as well, building them the way you wanted them. And I've got a lot of theories as to why I think that we've lost that part of the American culture. Whether it be, I like to, one of my theories is that, the environmental movement have made people feel guilty about high-performance vehicles. And therefore, the generation coming up, they're not as in love with performance and personalized transportation as we were when we were young, or when I was young.
Yeah.
I think you kind of came up in the middle of that, where some of it existed, but some of it, it really wasn't as important.
Yeah, that's probably true. I think when I was in high school more, which was in kind of the 90s
the fact that they really don't care about their car anymore.
Right.
You know, they really don't care about what they drive anymore, so they don't take any pride in how they drive. They don't really practice or pay a lot of attention to it. So it seems to me that, like, people have become a lot more distracted, a lot more careless, a lot less focused on the art of driving.
Right. Oh yeah. I mean, you think about what we do as motorcyclists. Obviously, we learn to ride through riders courses and stuff. But beyond that, I mean, we take advanced courses, and all kinds of things are available to motorcyclists to make you better, to do a lot of things, to give you all kinds of skills. Where in a car, I mean, as soon as you're done taking driver's ed at 16, you're pretty much done learning anything about a car, how you should be driving, and all those things. It's, it really is actually interesting, because people really are not great drivers anymore. And I'm not sure they were ever. I don't know that there was a time where people would say, oh, they were such great drivers, but definitely now people are so distracted with their phones and their kids, and everything in their car is so much. I won't say technology is like the enemy or anything, but there is so much technology in our cars that we do lose sight of the fact that we're supposed to be focused on everything around us and what we're doing, and that we're doing it well. And there's just no updating that, where I feel like with motorcyclists, you have the ability to go take courses to make you a better rider just over and over if you want to. I think that kind of is significant.
Well, for me, I remember when I was a kid, I don't think there was any fewer distractions when we drove as kids. We read things, we took books on long rides.
Right.
I don't know that this phenomenon of being locked into something besides driving is new. I really don't.
Right.
I don't think it's any more distracting, to be honest with you. I hate blaming technology.
Well, I don't want to blame technology. I just know that there are a lot of people who are, they get in their car and the first thing they do is make a phone call. This is where this is my office now. Well, it's not your office.
One of the problems, though, is they really don't know how to drive first.
Right. And that is exactly the problem.
As soon as they get on their phone, or as soon as they get a distraction, they're all over the road.
Right.
And more than that, they don't know.
Right. They
don't
have
seem
no
to
idea.
know.
Right. That they're
they'll drift right across your lane, and you'll honk on them, and they'll never pay any attention. They'll never lift their head.
Right. You're it's so clearly obvious that you're not, you're not capable while you're doing two things, because as soon as they stop, you'll see them texting or something, and as soon as you drive by them and they put their phone down, then they speed up and whatever, and you're like, really? You don't notice that you're driving, 10 or 20 miles under the speed limit, or that you can't stay in your lane until you get off doing whatever you're doing. So it's clear that you're not a great driver to begin with, and then throw one other, aspect into the loop and you're a mess. And you're dangerous, and that's the scary part. Especially as a motorcyclist, where they barely see you when they're paying good attention to you, let alone, when they're even half distracted.
Well, and I think that people don't even understand that they don't know how to, they really don't know how to drive these days. It's I don't know exactly how to explain it. We used to live for driving. We lived to turn 16 years old and get our license and drive.
Right.
We lived to get our learner's permit and start riding a motorcycle, a little bit more free out on the city streets. It's not the same today. I think people almost take to driving like it's a guilty thing they have to do.
Right.
They don't take the same pride in their cars we used to, by and large. And
of course, there's always exceptions. There's always exceptions.
Obviously, with what's going on in the market with personalized vehicles like Jeeps, the Jeep Gladiator, the Jeep Wrangler. Dealers can't seem to keep those things in stock.
Right. So the people that's their focus, that still definitely has a market and an audience. But I would say your general public. You're not annoying or anything.
Jesus.
But the general public, I would say, it's missing in them. It really is. I totally agree with that.
So building a community where, we can interact with others who have some of the same passions that we do within their businesses, I think it's awesome.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it was a brilliant idea, and they're putting it together. Great. It's a very cool thing. I think it's definitely needed too. We're definitely a community, but it's when you're spread out the way we are across the country, across the world, it's really cool to have something that it's, motorcycles and riding definitely brings you together. So why wouldn't you, put that into every other aspect of business and the whole thing? It just all makes sense.
Well, for us, what we wanted to do is we wanted to get back to promoting the benefits. I think there's a lot of psychological benefits. I just think there's a lot of personal benefits to loving personalized and performance transportation. And I think it's part of our culture that we don't want to lose. It's definitely part of our culture I don't want to lose.
Yes.
I think it's missing in our young people, and that's why, being with our nephews, Brother Jackson and Brother Slim, and getting them on the bikes and excited about bikes has been really, really kind of cool.
It really has. I've been really excited to share this with them and for them to really like it. I mean, they are so they just love their flannels and all of the things that go with riding. They're so funny. But it's a really cool thing to see a whole generation, because I wasn't raised around it. And I know that without them coming here and spending this time with us and living with us, it would definitely be something that they would have been missing and not even know that the pleasure that it could give them, and the even confidence. I mean, like little brother Jackson, he has grown. His confidence level has just increased 100-fold after doing his videos and getting the response and the way that people treat him at the dealerships and everything. I mean, he just glows. It's amazing. And it's really encouraged his brother to sort of step up and be a kind of different person as well. And I think that that's just been so good for them. And it's motorcycles, it's the whole, but it's the community and the support of bikers and dealerships and all that really kind of ties it all together and really makes it something worth doing.
Yeah, it's, and again, one of the things is not just watching what it's done for you. And you've always been a self-confident person, and like you said, you've always been rather mature, more mature than me. But watching what it's done for you and understanding,
right,
and enjoying,
yes.
Kind of like you used to love to ride in the car, but you never really loved to drive. I don't think you mind driving, but it's not a passion of yours.
No, and I didn't. What's interesting is I didn't think I would necessarily love motorcycling as the driver. I was kind of content to just ride on the back and just enjoy the scenery. And as soon as I took the class and figured out, I could do this for myself, oh my God, it unlocked so many things.
We've just jumped on the Muskogee Turnpike back to Tulsa. So we're going to go ahead. Speeds get high here, and I know
sound gets hard here.
As long as we're talking about that, who isn't impressed with our audio at 70, 80 miles per hour?
Yes.
I love the fact that we've got our audio rigged to where at nearly every speed we come through pretty quickly.
So, thanks for coming along with us. Remember to check out